I started here in 1994. Previously I was at St Pat's. So they were quite interesting times because neither school, the staff wanted to amalgamate. I remember the staff at St Pat's going, we don't want to go down there, and the staff at Stella are probably the same. And the first day was quite interesting because the boys, we didn't have change rooms down in the pool, and I was head of sports master, or head of phys ed. And the girls wouldn't come out of the change room because the boys, of course, got changed in a little room in the pool, and the girls were hiding in the change room. So it was quite an interesting time. It took a little while for the boys and girls to, to relax around each other. And the girls, I guess, were a bit possessive of their school. The boys were like intruders. So the first year was quite interesting, just gelling kids together. And I do remember the foundation mass, or the commissioning mass, I guess. One reason I do remember that is my daughter was born in '94, and she came along with my wife, and that was a fairly memorable moment, I guess. But anyway, the school was a lot smaller. I think there was only about 750 kids. I mean, I think St Pat's had about 350, and Stella had something similar. And when they merged, about 650, 700, I'm not exactly sure, but it was quite a small, compact school, 5 streams, and the staff took a while to get together, but Brother Bryant was the boss, and he was a good leader because in the respect he knew all the kids, or he made a big effort to know all the kids, and I think that gelled the students together, and probably the staff to a large degree. So yeah, 1994, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's 28 years, which is a bit scary. So yes, so yeah, 1994. So I came here as sports master, and there were only 3 of us then, I think. John Yates and Helen Moore, who was quite a character. Yeah, or it might have been someone else, it's a long time ago. But yeah, I think it was Helen Moore. And we were ensconced down near the canteen initially. And so I was head of phys ed, and the department grew as the school grew. And I was head of phys ed from 1994 until 2010, so quite a while. And the department went from about 3 to probably 8 or 9 as the school grew, and we took on more responsibilities in health and phys ed. I also taught human biology and year 10 science. I can remember teaching year 10 physics and chemistry and trying to stay just in front of the kids, and there were some pretty smart kids, so that was challenging. And one stage I said, oh, how are we going to teach you guys? Or maybe you, anyway, it was quite an interesting experience because there wasn't streaming, so you had kids that were not at all interested in physics or chemistry, and kids that really loved it, so that was a challenge, but we got through it. And I taught human biology with Julie Martin-Carabas, and she sort of mentored me because she was very particular about how it was taught, and she got great results. So I guess I learnt off people like Julie to attention to detail and that sort of thing. I also taught RE. I started teaching RE at St Pat's. I had 33 year 10 boys trying to teach them religion, and that was my first experience teaching RE, and that was challenging, but we soldiered through. Mary Ann Berry was the head of RE, and she and we used to meet. We were quite privileged. We had a period where all the RE teachers got together once a week and planned out our lessons for the week. So that was good. But unfortunately, that couldn't last forever. But we had quite a close-knit team. Yeah. So outdoor ed again from St Pat's. So I taught whatever was required, and at some stage I taught a little bit of mathematics. But yeah, so they were good days. And of late, so that was 2010. And then a deputy principal pastoral care came up, or they used to call them directors, I think, of pastoral care. So myself and the current principal, Mike Williams, did that role from 2011 to 2013. And then Mike left, and I kept going for a little while, and then other people came into the job. So pastoral care was I quite enjoyed that. So I was looking after 3-year groups. Shelley Alexander was a year 7 coordinator, and she was wonderful to work with, and Mike was great as well. So there were two blokes and Shelley. It was quite a nice little team. So I think in the first year I had 7 9s and 11s, and Mike had 8 10s and 12. Actually no, the first year I had 8 10s and 12 because my daughter was in year 12, and the first year I did pastoral care role as a deputy. And it was sort of good, except, you know, it's, in some ways it'd been nice to not be in charge of my daughter in the first year. And I do remember my son saying, "Dad, why are you doing that role? Why don't you go back and do head of phys ed?" Because, you know, all the kids are going, "Oh, you're dad," and da da da. So I said, "You'll be fine, Josh. You'll get through it. It's okay." So I did that role from 2010 to 2016. So that was about 7 years, I guess. And then I came off the bike, had a bike accident at the end of 2016. So I had some time off, and then Robin Gumry asked me if I could do the acting deputy's job, Faith and Life. I think Martin Tobin was doing the role and he had to leave, so I came in off sick leave and did the role for up until semester 1, and then I had to apply for the role. So I applied for the role and won the role in 2017. I did that up until now, so that's been about 4 years in that role, which has been different, but you know, it's a really nice role because you're dealing with, you know, the positive things around the school. The kids grow and mature, and you know, and they turn into really good citizens. I've been in the Faith and Life deputy's role for 4 years, and yeah, it's been a really positive role. I think I'm passionate about just, you know, working with kids to make them good citizens, you know, making them well-rounded kids. They're good characters, and they'll be good people when they you know, leave Nagle. So, you know, you want them to represent themselves well. You want them to be aware of, you know, their talents, to be aware that, you know, or to give them self-confidence, I guess, give them belief in themselves. Yeah, just, and I guess probably that more than anything else. I mean, the content and the teaching side of thing is probably driven by, as most people know, relationships with the kids. I think just being around and being present and being available and approachable so kids can talk to you is pretty important. And I'm just passionate about kids coming to school and feeling safe and comfortable and feel like they, you know, they're going to develop as people, probably more than anything else, you know, and see them later on when they come back, I guess, occasionally, and think, oh, well, I've had some impact on these kids, these guys over the years. The kids lift you, they smile, and they say, "Good morning, Mr Bowen," or they, you know, you go and listen to their story. I think a place has a genuinely caring, it's a genuinely caring community. The staff generally are pretty easy to get along with. I think, I don't know, I just used to enjoy coming to work, you know, because I like riding to work, I like exercising, and normally you come to work and you greet people and then you get stuck into what you've got to do. And, it's good to see the students grow and develop, and you know, teaching year 12s is always fun because, you know, they're a little more mature and you can speak to them on more of an adult level. And I guess, yeah, I guess it's just, you're sort of educating for the future, I guess, or I try and prepare the kids for the workplace. Just, yeah, it's just a great place to work. It has a nice community. It's an attractive place to work. There's so many facilities here you can use. We're well catered for by the, I think, by the admin. You know, it's, you know, teaching's a fairly noble profession, and it's quite a privilege. And I guess you can do some. I was going to say make a difference. That sounds a bit cliche, but you can do good things for people. Yeah, well, there's lots of memorable moments. The early days in phys ed, we had a great group of staff, and you know, you'd get a laugh every day. You'd go on camps, and you know, outdoor ed camps, and you know, that's education out of the classroom is so much fun, and you get to know the kids really well. The kids my own kids personally graduating students, you know, and the fact that they were happy to stay at Nagle. I did say to my son at one stage, Josh, if you want to go to Aquinas, I'm happy to send you off to Aquinas for a year 10, 11, 12. He said, no, Dad, I like Nagle. You know? And so they both graduated and did well here, so it's nice to see them do well. It's nice to see ex-students come back here as teachers and, you know, be really happy to come back. In the role of pastoral care, it's, I guess, the memorable moment, so when you help kids out of trouble, you know, or lighten the load for them a bit, you know. And of late, I guess, the retreats. I enjoyed the Year 12 retreats. And I guess you know, having new people come with new ideas and do things differently. I think working with young staff certainly keeps you young, and you know, because they've got all these ideas and this enthusiasm, this passion. You go. Coming off the bike was probably a memorable moment. The way people all came around to look after you and care for you, that sort of stuff. Oh, we do work in a good place. John was around for years, and we were at St Pat's, and we were teaching RE and religious education, and you know, so I think it's a Friday afternoon or something, or it might have been. Anyway, we decided we need to do something different for the kids, and so we decided that we'd take them sandboarding in RE, and so Mr. Off, or John in my class, we met. The kids are getting changed in the study hall. Must be before we had. Anyway, they're making a bit of a racket, and Brother Crooks, who was a deputy at the time, came down and said, "What's going on here?" And they said, "Oh, we're getting changed, brother, for religion." He said, "You're getting changed for religion? What are you doing for religion?" "Oh, we're going sandboarding with Mr. Bowen and Mr. Roth." He said, "You're what? You're going sandboarding in RE?" You know, religion's about forming relationships, and you know, we got up the sand dunes and, you know, bonding and that sort of stuff, and being good people. We actually put sunscreen on our face and made him. He luckily saw the funny side of it, because Roffy was a bit of a clown as well. So yeah, and from that there's this trophy about innovation in religious education, teaching, and building relationships with the students, which is what it's meant to be all about. So yeah, so that trophy still exists today. This recognition of people who do different things, but we're probably a little bit, you know, stretching the limits a little bit in that respect. Yeah, that happened a long time ago. That was 1995. So I was young and, you know, exuberant.